Some of you are probably wondering why this video is an hour and 20 minutes long. People have asked me to put all phases of the Heroic Sith Raid into one video, which I have. I've put in how to mod the characters that I use and each phase of the raid that I battle. I'm doing phases 1 through 3. I do not have the greatest phase 4 team. I don't have Night Sisters, and that's also a phase that you can throw the kitchen sink at. But phases 1 through 3 teams, I definitely am able to roll. Now, I have already filmed the video. This is just the preface. I've had some good runs. I've had some bad runs. I am not a perfect human being. I understand there are things that I could do better. But I'm going to put a timestamp at the beginning or down in the description at the beginning of each section, meaning the beginning of each phase of the raid. And I'm also going to try to put them on the screen here as well. So if you want to skip to a certain part, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the video. First, I'm going to go over phase 1 and the JTR team with C-3PO. Now, the last time I did this, I got a score of like 5 million, 5.1 million. Since I've already filmed the phase this time through, because I'm going back and doing all the mods now, I got like 4.3 million. I was very disappointed. You'll see it in the video that I didn't get as much. But I made a few mistakes with not giving some foresight to R2. But that happens. This is how, you know, the average player, the normal human, would try to get through this. So first we're going to look at the mods here of my phase 1 resistance team. Now, is it still great to do with Scavenger Ray? Absolutely. You can still get some higher scores with Scavenger Ray. But I like to run it with 3PO. It's a lot of fun to me. So one, what's the absolute most needed thing you need is to have Jedi Training Ray's Inspirational Presence Leadership ability Zeta. That is the most important. And now we're going to look at her mods. I run her with the crit damage set, and then preferably, you know, you'd like a crit chance set if possible. But then I have a health set on here. And we're going to look at the damage that she does, because first, this is important. We want to see if she does physical. She does physical damage, okay? You got to know the difference between physical and special damage. So going in here, she has a total, excuse me, her damage is 3,099. Her crit chance is 45.68. Remember, all of this is going to go up with BB-8's buffs, which is huge, huge. So you want to have as much speed on her as possible as well, and I have her at a speed of 221. Yeah, she can be faster, but I have a good set that I like to stick on her. So we want offense and speed and crit chance if possible in the secondaries, offensive statistics. So I'm just going to look at the speed here. Plus 12, plus 15, plus 10, plus 9, plus 5 crit damage. That could be higher. We have some offense, you know. And then plus 30 speed. You obviously want a speed there as well. I would love to get these to 6 dots to do even more damage, which at some point in time I do plan on doing. I'm kind of spreading my 6 dots out right now. So there, that, you know, crit damage, crit chance set. I have the crit damage with health. Make sure you have offense in the primary of the cross. That is huge. Now let's take a look at BB-8. What is BB-8's goal? It is to survive and be fast. Yeah, you could put some speed or some offense on him, but really, is his offense that important? You know, he does do 3,767. He does use special offense too, by the way. Actually, let's just make sure that I don't want to make sure that I eat crow there. Nope, physical damage there. Physical damage. I'm sorry. He does physical damage. Wow, so he only does 2,446. I just have a speed set on him and then a tenacity set on him because I had some fast mods there. Plus 19 speed. Again, I'm looking for defensive statistics in the secondaries. I want him to be survivable. That's the biggest thing. Plus 10 speed, plus 13 speed, plus 15 speed, plus 10 speed, and 30 speed. Again, as you can see, defense, protection, health. I want a bunch of that. And are these... If I would switch my arena mods over to these teams, I could probably do even more damage. But, you know, this is just the mods I keep on these characters for now when I use them. And probably the way that you guys do it, too. So now let's go up and we're going to look at R2. R2 is extremely important to this team because... One, it doesn't work without him because whenever a light side ally scores a critical hit, they dispel all debuffs on themselves, which again allows them the next time to be able to decrease their cooldowns, which is huge. And then number crunch, you're giving 10% of the statistics of max protection. The start of the battle, R2-D2 gains 10% max protection for each droid ally, 10% offense for each Galactic Republic ally, 10% max health for each Rebel ally, and 10% potency for each Resistance ally. Now, At the start of the battle, this is the Zeta, and when R2-D2 revives, other droid, Galactic Republic, Rebel, and Resistance allies gain 10% of R2-D2's max protection, offense, max health, and potency until R2 is defeated. There's a reason I'm going to show you how I mod him with all offense, because 10% of his offense is going to be going to the rest of the characters. That is huge. He deals special damage here. His smoke screen is also very important, guys, and then he deals physical damage there. So, how do I mod him? I've showed you this before. I've talked about it many times. I've made maybe more than like 2 or 3 videos on this. Offensive set, okay? So, offense with plus 16 speed. You also want him as fast as possible. Give me some offensive secondaries as well, although defensive secondaries aren't bad because that stuff's going to transfer over as well. It's all going to transfer over, but I want him to transfer over that strength. Then we have plus 14 speed with protection, defense, and health there. And that, man, when you raise a defensive mod to 6 dots, that's huge. 9 speed with some potency, health, and offense. Pretty decent. Now, here we go. In the cross. Offensive mod with an offensive primary with 9 speed with some potency, health, and protection. That offense is what just gets me going. And then offense again in the triangle. More offense with plus 13 speed, some offense, protection, and tenacity. And then, yes, I put an offensive mod in the arrow as well. As you can see, this has a speed of 20 in the secondary with some extra offense, defense, and crit chance. Especially when you're running them here, I was not nearly as concerned with speed. So that extra offense is going to help tremendously. So speed is 250, physical offense is 3,673, and his special offense is 5,888. So that's how you mod R2, guys. If you got to be spreading those offensive statistics over there. And now let's look at C-3PO. What is his job? To spread a bunch of stuff, really. C-3PO inflicts Confuse, the unique buff, Confuse for 3 turns, max 3 stacks, can't be evaded or copied. If the target is confused, duration of their stacks reset to 3 turns, reduce target's turn meter by 6% and 3% more for each stack of translation on C-3PO. Confuse, Detrimental effects build based on the cumulative number of stacks. Cannot gain buffs, cannot counter assist or gain bonus turn meter. Raid bosses, minus 30% counter chance. When this character uses their basic ability, increase your cooldowns by 1. Raid bosses, minus 50% defense. Defense doesn't stack with defense down. So what it does to the raid bosses there, huge. Very important. Oh my goodness. C-3PO gains potency up in stealth for 2 turns. Then he and other target ally gain translation for 3 turns. C-3PO inflicts Confuse on target enemy for 3 turns, then calls all other allies with translation to assist, dealing 50% less damage. See Protocol Droid for description of translation. I believe it's, oh my goodness, here that is one of the Zetas. Sometimes I forget. Now, Protocol Droid. C-3PO has plus 20 speed. While C-3PO is active, Galactic Republic, Rebel, Resistance, and Ewok allies gain the unique buff Translation for 3 turns, max of 3 stacks. Each time they use a special ability, Translation cannot be copied. If the character already has Translation, the duration for all current stacks on that character resets to 3 turns. When C-3PO is defeated, stacks of Translation will expire. Translation. Beneficial effects based on the cumulative number of stacks. 1. Gaining 30% max health. 2. Gaining 15% critical chance. 3. When C-3PO uses his basic ability to decrease this character's cooldowns by 1. Decrease of the cooldowns. Gaining max health. Gaining critical chance. Very important. The weight for me is also a Zeta. C-3PO and R2-D2 have plus 10% evasion for each of their own stacks of translation. At the start of the encounter, C-3PO and R2-D2 gain translation for 3 turns. When there are no other allied combatants, C-3PO escapes the battle. He has so many abilities here. Intermediary. All allies have plus 10% defense penetration. This is another reason to use him. Each time a Galactic Republic or Ewok ally gains a different non-unique non-protection buff, they gain 50% protection up for 2 turns. Does not stack with itself. For each stack of translation, Galactic Republic have plus 10% defense penetration, doubled for Ewoks. So all allies have plus 10% defense penetration. But when you're using Galactic Republic or Ewok allies, they're going to be gaining protection up and more defense penetration. Cyborg relations, all allies have plus 10% potency, so we're getting more potency. Whenever a Rebel or Ewok ally uses their basic ability, they inflict expose on the target enemy for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded for each stack of translation. Rebel allies have plus 10% potency doubled for Ewoks. So Ewoks get a little bit of bonus from all of this, but Rebels get that extra potency. And then the Fretful Mediator. All allies have plus 10% critical damage. Whenever a resistance or Ewok ally uses their special ability, they inflict offense down on the target enemy for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded. For each stack of translation, resistance allies have plus 10% critical damage, doubled for Ewoks. So this is the ability that's going to affect our resistance characters. You're getting a total of 20. Well, actually, no, 10 plus 20 is going to be 30 more critical damage. So look, you're getting stat boosts from 3PO, you're getting stat boosts from R2. Wonderful. How do you want to mod him? I mod him with speed. Try to get him to go as much as possible and survive. Again, do I have the best speed mods on here? No, but we're looking for speed and secondary defensive statistics. 9 speed, tenacity, protection, crit chance, 11 speed. I have health here. I have protection in the circle. I have health in the cross with 5 speed. Defense in the primary of the triangle, and then speed in the primary of the arrow. He's pretty simple to mod, guys. It says speed and potency there. When you go there, you probably could put some more potency on him too, but we're going to be gaining some with BB-8 and stuff like that. So if you want to put a potency down here in the cross, go ahead as well. I find that I still land a bunch of debuffs with him, so I'm not that concerned. Maybe you can do better with it, with more potency, but I find that he's okay. And last but not least, our lovely Resistance Trooper. Let's go down and find my Resistance Trooper. Right here, he is the lifeblood. I should maybe give him these Gear 12 pieces too, of this team. He deals a majority of the damage. Now, I mod him where I don't have much speed on him at all. Some videos will show you not to put any speed on him. Honestly, it probably doesn't matter how much speed you have on him. If you're running good, you're going to get a good score. So you want crit damage and crit chance. That is extremely important. I don't have the crit chance set yet, but he's going to be getting crit chance bonuses from R2, whatever, 3PO, and BB-8. So what do his abilities do? Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 65% chance to expose him for 3 turns. There's that expose. That's important. Opportune strike. Deal physical damage to target enemy to dispel all debuffs on them with a 50% chance of inflicting speed down for 2 turns. This ability's cooldown is reduced by 2 if the target is suffering any negative status effects. So you're constantly going to be reducing this cooldown to continue to go. And then Guerrilla Tactics, Resistance Trooper has plus 10% potency and gains 55% turn meter when an enemy who is not exposed becomes exposed. So that's going to allow him to go a lot. So really, guys, what are you looking for here? Crit offensive statistics, crit damage, offense. Again, like I said, you know, is the speed the greatest? No, but you're going to want an offense in the cross. You're going to want a crit damage in the triangle. And then I also have an offense in the arrow because I like that extra offense, and he's going to be gaining a bunch of turn meter. So that is how I mod and how I use the Resistance team, Jedi Training Raid team in Phase 1. Now you'll see me go into battle, show you how to work it, and I hope it goes well from there. And then after that, I'm going to show you how I mod my Phase 2 Revan team, so stay tuned. So, of course, what is the first thing we need to do? We need to get an expose on Nihilus because of JTR's leadership ability. Whenever you use a special ability, when an enemy has expose, they lose turn meter. So, we're just going to keep getting in and getting out if he doesn't have expose. He has expose. This is a great way to do it. Now we're just going to slowly start attacking the secondaries with the, and here's the thing. I do not want to call BB-8 in because I do not want to take them out. I want them to last as long as possible. Nihilus has exposed so I can get to BB-8's Illuminated Destiny. So we're going to call R2 in. Look at that. He called BB-8 anyway. Okay, this is a perfect time to use this ability right here. Knock down even some more turn meter. Use this ability right here. Now they're going to be taking some more damage because of this. I'm sorry. 3PO's ability would have called that person in. It's Jedi Training Raid's ability that I just want to call in R2. But see, things are moving along so fast here. Perfect. I can get a smoke screen out. Now I'm going to be forced to... Okay, actually, that's... Keep an expose. Keep an expose. He didn't keep an expose. I like it when they keep exposes. Get another expose here, please. Got another expose. Excellent. Lost the expose. So he did get an attack off. I think I'm going to be okay, though. One more time till Illuminated Destiny. And then let's call in BB-8 again. Perfect. And here we go. Illuminated Destiny. It's time to start doing some damage. Keep using those specials, guys, because those specials will knock down turn meter when they have exposes. That's the simple part of this entire thing. Let's give smokescreen. Now, people do this differently. Sometimes I give it to JTR. Sometimes I give it to BB-8 because he'll get sometimes he can counter. Remember to watch your Annihilate counter up there. That is extremely important. And then like this. Okay, perfect. Knock down some more turn meter. Again, him having all those exposes is tremendous. 3PO being able to give more exposes is tremendous. That's part of the whole thing. His ability to continue to give exposes. Big hit right there. I'm getting close to another Illuminated Destiny. Now we're going to call in BB-8 because, or we're going to call in him, and it's going to call in all the other people with the translation or whatever. I can't think of it right now. Here we go. Another Illuminated Destiny, which is perfect. Just keep wailing away at this guy right here. I like to give this to Jedi Training Rey because she is technically a tank, and I feel safer with her being able to be hit if possible because she can regain health back the quickest. I may not be right with that. That's just the way I do it. If you do it differently, let me know in the comment section below, please. I hate when I have to use a basic. Remember though, with JTR, one of her abilities, when you attack with a character that does not have a debuff, you're going to be decreasing all of your cooldowns. That's extremely important. Look at all the assists here. So some people ask, why use 3PO instead of Scavenger Rey? Because she does a lot of damage. Well, that is a good question. All of the assists and the boosts that you're getting with 3PO, because he is also giving you some stat boosts, is going to be tremendous. He's going to be giving more exposes like that, which allow you to knock down more turn meter, which allow you to take more turns. It's that simple. If you have any questions about why I'm doing it or how I explain it, please leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get you to my Discord server where we can specifically answer how I do those things. Good. Just see, he has that expose. It keeps the train running. That exposed train keeps running. Now we're going to call in BB-8 again because he's going to call somebody else to assist like that. Goodbye. When you get a critical hit, again with a JTR lead, you will lose any debuffs, which is huge. Now let's look at Confusion quick. I probably should read this. It's not clicking on it right now. I'll read it. I'll actually read this pre-battle with what it does, and I'll edit it into the video. Another Illuminated Destiny, which is perfect. Again, we're keeping an eye up there on the Annihilate cooldown because that is extremely important. All about using the specials, guys. All about using the specials when he has expose. Knocking that turn meter down, as you can see right there. Good. That's why you continually want... Will you quit attacking my resistance trooper? Actually, I'm gonna go like this. Because I want to be able to... There we go. I want to be able to use specials on Nihilus when possible. Excuse me. I'm not really too concerned with these guys right now. I just would prefer them not to get any attacks off. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes I get kind of giddy, and I like to take down the other guys here. Sometimes it doesn't matter as much. Like that. Probably didn't need to do that there, but I want to get it where a burning like this is going to do some damage with them. And they get ability block too. Keep that exposed train running. There we go. Now, we're getting close to his Annihilate. I always like to be careful with this because sometimes the mechanics just don't always work the way I think they should. So I'm going to be okay with actually using it a little early. Get rid of you. I don't want you around here. Okay, perfect. He attacked 3 times, which means this next time I got lucky there. And I'm going to... God, I wish I had it on Jedi Training Rey. This gets tricky. Well, we're going to give it to R2. And then hope that I can get him to survive. I'm going to be calling him to assist a few times with Jedi Training Rey because of that. There we go. Another Illuminated Destiny. Just keep it rolling, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. That is the goal. And you do got to watch R2's turn meter because you don't want him to lose that. So you might have to actually not use a few specials. Okay, it worked perfect here. He got it off. Now, I need to get to R2, and I need to be able to get him some... I need to call him in next if possible with Jedi Training Rey. And here's the thing, I always forget. Okay, perfect. He actually still has the non-damage thing on him. Ah, dang it, I lost one of those turns. This is good to get this, actually. Okay, just keep working through this here. Good. Now I am going to give this back to JTR. My goal is just to keep R2 alive as long as possible. Oh, I think I made a mistake. I did. Dang it. I needed to call in R2. I needed to use Jedi Training Rey's ability on R2 so he got foresight. Big mistake there by me. Let's still hope that so that is something that you guys can learn from. Okay? I made a mistake. When you get to JTR's ability, which I will show you here in a second. I'll get my exposes back, please. This ability right here, okay? What it does is, there we go, now we can read it. Target other resistant ally to dispel their debuffs, call them to assist, and grant them foresight for 2 turns. I should have given him foresight so he wasn't taken out by that drain life. Now, he might have gone twice in between that time, depending on if 3PO called an assist and BB-8 called an assist. But that is what you want to do so you can save him as long as possible. That is the goal there. Save him as long as possible. Because those stats transfer over, you get that much more damage being done, and the burning and stuff is very crucial too. Also, one thing you got to pay attention to if you want a certain character, well, it doesn't always work this way. Because, like, I'll try to attack him with Jedi Training Rey to get Unbreakable Will with her, to use it against her, or use it with her. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Okay, now that these guys are bugging me. Probably just wasting some damage on these guys, but again, just something that bothers the crap out of me, having these guys sitting here ready to pick me off. But we're definitely going to use this big attack here on you. Going to call you in to assist. Wish we could get some crits here. So, okay, his Annihilate cooldown is going to be coming up here. And I think I'm going to give it to... BB-8 gets me Illuminated Destiny. But Resistance Trooper does the most damage. I have 3 turns left. How do I want to do this? I think I'm going to use it with BB-8. That's exactly why. Okay, I think I'm going to get BB-8 to actually go again here. They have exposes. Don't worry about them. Perfect, which I will do here. I'm giving him Unbreakable Will. Still called him to assist, which is nice, which is exactly why I should have done that with R2 more. Gal, sometimes, you know, when you're in the heat of the moment, you do make mistakes. This is not a perfect run by any means, but we are going to see how much damage I can actually get out of it. They have exposes over there, so I really shouldn't have to waste too many right now, too many attacks with them. I'm down to 2 attacks. Okay, I lost those 2. Okay, let's see how much damage I ended up doing. Oh, not nearly as much. 4.2 million. Okay, well, 4.2 million, I can get that usually with a Jedi Training Rey and Scavenger Rey team. I probably made a few mistakes in there. I know I seem disappointed with the 4.2 million score because last time I did it, I got in the 5 millions. Probably because R2 survived a little longer. I was able to save him. So those few mistakes can cost you actually 800,000 damage. Because I remember the last time I did it, I kept R2 alive. I did everything perfectly correctly. I got the exposes on the secondary people, and I know people you guys that are watching this video are going, well, don't attack them at all. Again, that's just kind of the way I do it. And I was able to get 5 million. So a few mistakes can lose you 800,000 damage. So there you go with phase 1, seeing how much damage I was able to do. Again, not happy with it. I would have liked to get to that 5 million damage mark. But now let's go check out how I mod my Revan team for phase 2. Revan team is so much fun to use. Again, this run that I'm going to do is not perfect by any means. I probably should have used Battle Meditation more with Grandmaster Yoda. But of course, you want to run with Revan. Some of you just unlocked Revan. So please learn how to use him in phase 2 of the Sith raid here. Get all of his Zetas on him. Are we going to read through all of his abilities? No, because it would take forever. I don't want to have this video be 2 hours long. All you need to know is he's going to be gaining some tenacity. He's going to be immune to stun. He's going to be sharing some of his statistics, okay? You can go through and read all of the abilities here and what's important about them. But no, direct focus is going to help. Master Strategist is going to be an AoE that helps clear. And all of this is important. And his leadership ability, very important because it's going to be gaining Jedi and Old Republic allies gain 5 speed, crit chance, offense for each Jedi and Old Republic ally. They're also going to be able to revive when they die. So I run him with an offensive set. I run him this way in Arena as well. I know some people put speed sets on him to get him to up to like 310 speed, especially in the raid here. I'm happy with an offensive set. So what do you want? You want speed and offensive statistics. In the secondaries, crit chance statistics as well. You could put crit chance mods on instead of health mods as well. Plus 25 speed, plus 21 speed, plus 23 speed, plus 15 speed, but an offensive primary mod. Again, I want that damage there. I have a crit damage mod with a plus 17 speed here, and then a 32 speed with some extra offense in there as well. So again, just running through these quickly. His crit damage, 192. His importance is special offense, where he does 5,681. That's where we're going to work with Revan right there. That's how I think you should mod him. Next, Grandmaster Yoda. Again, I'm modding him with an offensive set as well. Basically, you know your Battle Meditation is going to spread the buffs. You can steal buffs with Master Stroke and do Unstoppable Force to get lots of damage. Now, you're going to do a lot more damage if you actually go on and face Scion with when he has less than 50% health, because every time you use a Taru, you're going to be getting... let me scroll down here. If the enemy has less than 50% health, Yoda gains offense up and defense penetration for 2 turns. Defense penetration is huge. When he spreads that, everybody does more damage. So if you have the chance, go in after 50% health with him. You want an offensive set on him for sure. You want some good speed as well. And then I put crit damage in the primary. So again, in the primary of the triangle. Speed. Speed is the name of the game in the secondaries because you need him to go. And then offensive statistics as well. Crit chance, offense, etc. 14 speed there. 18 speed there. 21 speed there. Offense in the primary of the cross, please, with plus 17 speed. Please put offense in the primary cross. This is about damage. Some crit damage in the triangle with plus 17 speed. And then 32 speed again there with 8.22% crit chance in the arrow. Some people run with an offensive mod right here, too. I like the crit damage mod. So, again, speed is the name of the game with offense. Now, let's see. We've looked at Revan, Grandmaster Yoda. Let's take a look at Bastila, the ever-dangerous Bastila. I just modded with a full potency set because when I use her in Arena, I like her to actually get some stuns. Her ability to, 1, take away debuffs, which isn't as important here, but give the rally to Grandmaster Yoda, which gives a bunch of buffs for him to spread, is important. I make a few mistakes on waiting too long to use Grandmaster Yoda's Battle Meditation in the upcoming battle. She deals some decent damage at times, by the way. And, again, she's able to rally. Her legendary Battle Meditation is important. At the start of Basila's turn, she recovers 2% protection for each buff, and she has... And all other allies gain 3% turn meter doubled for Jedi and legendary Battle Meditation for 1 turn. Again, the ability to gain that extra turn meter, and they're going to be getting 100% potency and 70% counter chance. So they're going to be countering most of the time, and they're going to be gaining turn meter. I always run with Bastila here. And then again, I have a full potency set. What is my goal with her? Like I said, I have some potency. I'd like some good protection and health, and then I have some speed on her, and actually some damage too. So offense in the primary. You can actually mod Bastila the way you want. Do probably put as much speed on her as you can. I do put potency in the cross, crit damage in the triangle, and then speed there in the arrow. So yes, this is a pretty decent set with speed set. Some people don't mod her with potency. It's the way I like to mod her. She has 95% potency. That's just the way I do it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Maybe put an offensive set on her if you like. So there we did. Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, Bastila. Now Ezra Bridger, who I actually should have put better mods on for this battle. Actually, big time. I should have switched in Raid Han's mods. But he's another damage dealer. Some people like to replace General Kenobi with him for General Kenobi's a massive assist, or put in Jolie. I prefer Ezra because I like the damage. He especially is way more useful when you get defense penetration up if you use him with less than 50% health. But again, a crit damage set is probably what you want to run. These are just some decent offensive mods I had laying around. I usually mod Ezra with a massive crit damage set that's on Raid Han right now. But you want offense and crit chance mods, and in the secondary statistics, offense, speed, and crit chance as well. Plus 12 speed, plus 9 speed, plus 15 speed. Again, there's no speed on this one right here, but I have some crit chance. This is not a very good mod, but it has offense in the primary. Crit damage with a plus 3 speed, and then a 30 speed in the arrow. So my Ezra is not modded very well. Again, I'm switching mods around in different characters. I did run him like this, and he still does some decent damage. But preferably get some crit chance mods on there and get some more offense on there as well. His damage is 3603. He does physical damage. That matters with his crit chance of 41.88, which is going to be boosted by the other characters that he has in battle as well. So I use Ezra. And then last but not least, the lovely Hermit Yoda. He is so important to make this team work. He is the lifeblood of this team. Okay, he can recover health and protection and turn meter with his basic. The Master's Training is what's important. Gain stealth for 2 turns to dispel all debuffs on target other ally and grant them the Master's Training unique buff until the end of the battle. Then call allies with Master's Training to assist Master's Training. All of this is doubled for Jedi. Plus 50% accuracy, defense, offense, potency, tenacity can't be dispelled or prevented. If you're not using it on a Jedi, it's only 25%. So you're boosting the stats there. The strength flows through the Force is important because it's basically a heal that can give foresight and some protection. And what do you want to mod him with? Speed and defense. No offensive statistics, just like 3PO, mean anything here. Get a good speed set on him. Again, so here, and then again, get defensive statistics if you can. That's as simple as it is. 16 speed with protection, defense, and protection. 16 speed with tenacity, protection. The crit chance doesn't matter. 14 speed, protection. Defense with 14 speed. Defense with 19 speed. And then I put speed there in the arrow. So I have him at a speed of 285, guys. You want him to be able to go. The heals, the turn meter gain, the Master's Training, that's huge. So that is how I mod and work the Jedi Knight Revan team. I'm going to go into battle here, and you'll see how I use the team again. I make a few mistakes, but stay tuned for my Phase 3 teams as well. But now we're going to actually run with the Revan team. Now, if you can, running with the Revan team is so much better when you attack Scion with below 50% health. And the reason that is because Grandmaster Yoda is going to be able to get his defense penetration up when he hits a character with below 50% health or below, and it doesn't happen here when he has this much damage. But we're going to go in, or when he has this much health. We're going to see how much damage we can get here with this Jedi Knight Revan team. A lot of times I even do this on auto, but we're not going to do that right now. And then we're going to throw in Ezra here as well. Some people use some different teams, throw in General Kenobi or Jolie. I like the damage aspect of what we're able to do here. So we'll see how much damage we can get here. Again, so frustrated I didn't get that 5 million for you guys. I'll do it again. Don't worry. I'll get it posted somehow. Okay, we're going to use this ability. Now, the thing with all these ads here, the best way to potentially take them down is by Yoda's AoE and then Revan's AoE. Now, I'm a person that doesn't use this right away because I like to wait to get it from Bastila so I can spread all of those buffs. Always give your Master's Training to Grandmaster Yoda first. That is a no-brainer. Big hit right here. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. I can get all these boosts up over here. Now I can spread it to everybody. And now I can start going to town. Whoop, did not mean to click on that. Look at that. 84,000 damage. That's what we're talking about. There's one of those attacks that can do that. I'm going to get Revan here to go pretty soon. Yeah, they're going to attack. Am I too concerned about it? No, because we're going to do this. And as you can see, it did quite a bit of damage to all of them. Do I ever take away the pain in this game whatsoever and when I'm playing this. No, I let us keep it because every pain gets you like 20% extra stack of damage. And that is right. Oh, why can't I find it? It's not clicking on it right now. Oh, well. When you have pain, you're able to take more damage from him, but you're able to do more damage yourself. Let's see. Let's do this. Again, I'm going to try to wait to use his buffs so I can get some from Bastila. We'll see. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but I like to spread buffs when I actually have them. Again, we'll use this attack right here. And again, I'm going to wait till Bastila. So I probably would have... Oh, see, this was dumb. This was a mistake by me. Should have used it right away. Because Bastila's turn was up the way it was. Now let's call in... let's do this. I am human, guys, and I like to show when I technically make mistakes. Well, look at that damage right there. When I make mistakes, because it's mistakes a lot of you make. Again, I like to use that ability when I get all of Bastila's buffs, but sometimes it just isn't. It doesn't always work that way, and you have to realize how many turns you could take before you get it again. Let's call in Ezra. Now we're going to give Master's Training to Ezra. He's the other big damage dealer I like to have here. Even though Revan does quite a bit of damage too, I like to think that Ezra can do quite a bit of damage. I'm not going to use this right now. Just use a basic. Okay. We'll use this again. Just to get some of that foresight up, it is going to make you much more survivable in the long run. There we go. Just keep whittling away here. Like I said, it's really nice to have him below 50% health because you're constantly going to be getting... Now I can finally spread this. Just use a basic. Voila! Finally! Feels good to spread all those buffs. Now we can start doing some more damage. Look at that, 120,000 damage. Let's see how much Ezra does here. 51,000 damage. 108,000, 22,000. These guys can do some... Now, a few people ask me, why don't you run General Kenobi so you can use his assist and stuff like that? I just like Ezra. I love Ezra as a character. I don't know if the score would be that much better, especially if you maybe you put Jolie in there as well. But as you see, I really don't need to heal that much. So that isn't an issue. I do have, with Revan's ability, if one of them do decide to die, they get to be revived. And I have a healer with Yoda, Hermit Yoda that is. So I'm really not too concerned. I can play this carefully. I can get foresight. We're going to give this to Revan next. And again, as you can see, I'm keeping the pain on here. Oh, here, finally got it up. Cycle of Suffering. Plus 150% offense. Can't be resisted. Can only be dispelled by Soothe. I'm not going to Soothe. I do not need to Soothe. So I get plus 150 offense bonus here. Just gonna read this way. This is the team right here, Finn, Han, Chewie, 3PO, Leia, that can do quite a bit of damage in the Phase 3 of the Sith raid. Actually, I'm pretty sure it can almost solo it. But I do not like... I like to use mine on Phase 1 because I wonder if the team's ever going to get nerfed. And we need people to do Phase 1. Phase 1 is what JTR is meant for. That's why I tell everybody to farm her for Phase 1. Oh, why would I use that right now? I get talking and sometimes I forget what I'm doing. Now, one thing you could really try to focus on is when you're facing the ads is to make sure you hit them with a Yoda's basic when they're below 50% health. And I'll explain why. Because you're going to get defense penetration up. Now, also with Ezra's Flourish, which we'll get to, I'm pretty sure this counts as a debuff. So he's not going to be we'll look at this next time. So he's not going to be gaining any turn meter with his Flourish attack. Now we're going to give this to Basilisk. So the whole team has Master's Training. Hermit Yoda just trained this whole team. It should be kicking butt. Call in your ads, please, so I can explain the situation I want to have here with... Okay, here we go. See, what Flourish says is if the enemy had no if the enemy had no buffs, this attack cooldown was reduced by 1 and Ezra gains 75% turn meter instead. Why do I always think that? I always think that it has something to do with him. Again, I apologize for my insolence. Again, is this the perfect run? Absolutely. Okay, finally. I'm forced to attack him again. I'm going to see if I can save one of the ads until... When you're able to use defense penetration up, it is so much better. Yeah, I'm not going to use that right now. Okay. Perfect. Now I can just attack with Yoda here to finally show you. And I probably should do this more. But here we go. So basic right here. He's going to get defense penetration up. Now we're going to spread defense penetration up. And the damage is going to go through the roof. Let's see. Actually, we're going to... No. We're just going to use a basic here. I want to make sure... Oh, perfect. He's taking out all of our characters. Oh, and I can't even spread right now. But with Grandmaster Yoda, watch how much damage this is going to do. Wish I had crit damage, crit chance up. But 154,000 damage. That defense penetration matters, which is why it's very nice to be able to attack Scion with less than 50% health. But sometimes that's the way it goes. Now, again, is this a perfect run? Absolutely not. I should have used more of Grandmaster Yoda's battle meditation. There's a few things that I could have done different, but I understand that. But not everybody is going to have a perfect run all the time. So for those of you people out there saying that, well, technically you should do this, and this, I understand. I'm trying to teach at the same time as I'm doing this, and it's not always perfect. But you're going to get a general... I wish he would have disappeared there. I just did 8,009,382 damage. Revan ended up doing more damage than Ezra, which sometimes if you have that defense penetration up, Ezra can still end up doing more. It's rare. Again, Grandmaster Yoda did 4.5 million damage. So this is huge. This is still a great run, guys, okay? And I wanted to get it done with because as you can see, there's only like half of the bar left. So now I'm going to show you my Phase 3 teams that I use and how to mod them. The Chex Mix and the Bounty Hunter team. Just to note, the Bounty Hunter team run was awful. It was an absolute disaster. So usually I can do quite a bit more, get up in the 2 millions. It was not this way this time. But I'm human. I just want to show you how that goes. So what do we have to remember about Phase 3? Well, the important thing to remember is that when you use standalone, the statistics of all of your other characters are going to be transferring over to, or some of the statistics are going to be transferring over to the character that's using standalone. So when you're using standalone with somebody like Raid Han, it would basically mean you'd want to put offense on the other characters so he could do even more damage. Now, I have not perfectly modded the team I'm going to show you because I use them in Grand Arena, Squad Arena. I just didn't switch the mods around, but we're using the Chex Mix team. We're going to start with Commander Luke Skywalker. What do you want to mod him for? Is he there to do much damage himself? Absolutely not. Have his leadership ability, which is important. The counter chance, 50% defense, and 15% offense. It does not need to be Zeta. And I have a crit damage and a crit chance set on him. Again, if I wanted to put an offensive set on him to transfer even more offensive statistics at Han, I probably could have done that. You can probably get a little bit more damage. But our Phase 3 goes so quick now with the Finn 3PO teams that I just try to get in there and get some done. So you do want offensive statistics in at least the cross, and then I have a crit damage and a crit chance set on him with speed. How you mod him, again, if you want to put some offense on him to transfer those stats over, is big, but otherwise just get some speed and some damage on him, especially if you're just looking to do it kind of quick. But if you're looking to do maximum damage, give all of the secondary characters a bunch of offensive mods and offensive statistics. Now we'll go look at the we're going to look at Pow Forsakala. He is at Gear 8, level 85. He's not important. His only importance is to get the offense up. Then he can die. Once he does that, I don't care. I have him at a speed of 230. I want him at a speed of 230 because that's important. You need to get speed for him to get that offense off. Again, if you want to put a bunch of offense mods on him, go ahead and do that as well. I don't even have like any offensive mods here. I probably could do that as well. And a lot of his stats won't transfer over, but again, his job is to get the Sakala off. Now let's look at Chewbacca. I use Chewie. Guys, if you want to use Chirrut or Rex, that's fine as well. Chewie's important because of his guard ability, which at the start of the battle, grant guard to the weakest ally and Han Solo until Chewbacca is defeated. Which is why it'd probably be nice if somebody's a little stronger than Pow, but it's okay. Chewbacca assists when a guarded ally uses an ability during their turn, doing 20% less damage, limited once per turn when Chewbacca deals damage to an enemy, and all guarded allies recover 3% health protection. That is the Zeta. What does guard mean? Can't be critically hit, immune to daze, and stun with plus 25% critical chance. The perfect way to do this is to make sure Death Trooper has guard as well. That would be the absolutely perfect way to do it. You wouldn't have to restart many times as also. Remember that. I just don't have my POW leveled up there, so I do restart a few times. But remember, if those of you out there are going to, criticize some, preferably you want Death Trooper in that situation. And then your mods on him, again, you want him to transfer statistics over, so if you want to put an offensive set on him, you can. But, I was in Territory War recently. I didn't want to change the mods around and stuff like that. So I do have some decent speed, and then I have a crit damage set on him, preferably like a crit chance set as well. But put some offensive statistics in the primary if you can, and speed and offensive statistics with some crit chance in the secondary as well. Maybe a little potency to help get a stun with one of his abilities. That probably isn't going to matter nearly as much. It won't matter at all in Phase 3 of the Heroic Sith Raid here. So again, I have plus 12 speed in the square, plus 14 speed in the diamond, plus 17 speed in the circle. Again, what are you looking for? You're looking for the offense and crit chance secondary statistics. Offense, of course, in the cross with some good speed. Crit damage in the triangle, and arrow speed in the arrow. Again, if you want to do the maximum amount of damage, transfer over or put some offensive mods on each character so that transfers over to Raid Han. But, it makes a difference, but one or two more hits by Raid Han is going to make up for that. Now, let's look at Death Trooper. Before we get to Raid Han, the real king of this conundrum here, we're going to look at Death Trooper. Right here, what is his importance? Well, again, as you can see, I actually put an offensive set on him with offense in all of these statistics, including in all of these mods, including the arrow, because I did want his to transfer over, and I really don't change the mods that much from Death Trooper. So again, when you used to use the team, or you can still use it this way, you wanted him at 179 and Raid Han at 178. I don't mod him that way anymore because with Chewie, try to get it where Death Trooper has guard, which means that instead of POW, you can also run Poggle and Anakin. Now Anakin's going to have to make sure he hits everybody with, I think it's crit hits to be able to get offense up. But his goal is to get the death mark. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If the target is suffering any buffs, the attack is guaranteed critically hit. If there are any defeated enemies, also inflict a death mark for 2 turns. Oh, God, I forgot. Sometime in this battle, you're seeing this beforehand. I can't believe I forgot about this. I tried to get death mark on Traya, and I was so frustrated that I didn't, and then I realized that I didn't knock out one of the sabers first. So yes, you need to knock out one of the sabers before you can get Death Mark. That is what of extreme importance. And you're going to watch this later in the video going, what is this idiot thinking? Again, I was thinking different things at once, making sure to get Death Mark. One of the sabers has to be taken out because then it can't be resisted. Okay? You're going to look at me like I'm a buffoon in the video here later on, but this is important. Targets defeated by Terminate can't be revived. What does Death Mark do? Can we find where the Death Mark is here? Oh, let's see. Basically, what Death Mark does is it lets you do massive amounts of damage. Okay? That's what it does. That's what's important. So then when you use Death Mark, again, make sure you have one of the sabers taken out. You're going to go and use your baby, Raid Han. In Raid Han, I have modded to Kingdom Come. These are also mods I put on Ezra at times. But I have a crit damage set with some good speed and some good crit chance. And, you know, preferably you could have another crit chance set here. That's the one set I don't have a lot of, guys. A lot of you, you know, I always say to crit damage and crit chance or offense and crit chance. I just haven't farmed enough crit chance mod, and I haven't been focusing on it. But 62% critical, almost 63% critical chance is pretty big. Now let's look at here. So, offense primary, of course. In the 18 speed in the secondaries, you want offense and crit chance statistics, offensive and crit chance statistics in the secondaries as well, guys. Is speed is important with him? Probably not because of his shoots first ability, but I like him to have speed. Then I have some potency, offense, protection, plus 14 speed in the secondary there, which is nice. Plus 18 speed in the secondary of this circle with some extra crit chance, offense, and tenacity. Pretty good mod. An offensive mod in the cross with plus 13 speed with some extra crit chance, offense and potency. A crit damage mod in the triangle with some 16 speed, defense, tenacity, and health. And then in the arrow, I have offense as a primary statistic with plus 19 speed, some protection, tenacity, and health. So yes, I sacrificed the speed in the arrow, 11 speed, to get that extra offense. And again, remember, all of these stats are going to transfer over to him if you put offense in the other characters, and he's going to go to town. So that's the Chex Mix team right there. That's how you do it. And stay tuned for my Bounty Hunter team next. And now we finally get to go right to Phase 3. And I'm going to run with the Chex Mix team next. Is this a perfectly modded Chex Mix team like you're supposed to, where you have him at 189 or 179 and 178 damage? No. Again, I'm going to go through all these mods eventually, show you the team that I run with. Chewie can be replaced with Chirrut, Rex, as long as you get a tenacity up. That's the biggest thing right here, okay? Now I need to go find Pow. Ursakala! Wait, that's Biston, isn't it? There's Pow right there. And then, of course, the lovely, lovely Death Trooper, who I really don't feel like scrolling up and down for it. So we're just going to click on Imperial Troopers. And there we go, Death Trooper right there. So sometimes you have to restart with this a few times because I have Han modded with maximum damage to maximum speed as well, even though that's probably not the way you're supposed to do it. I'm going to choose to attack a four-sided saber. It'd be great if I could get this the first run. Okay, see, now here's the thing when you use this ability with Han right here, because I'm going to give him Never Tell Me the Odds to get some crit chance up potentially and crit damage up. I do not want Chewie to be on Traya, because when you attack her, she gets faster, so please remember that. Good, Chewie attacked that. Now I'm just going to use a basic here. Oh, if the problem with this is if Death Trooper gets staggered. Okay, offense up, perfect. Great, he did not get staggered yet. This is going to work out well. Okay. Give him... No! How did he not land a death mark? Okay, we're going to have to restart. I'm just going to keep it all in here. My phone just buzzed, so give me 1 second there. Again, the whole thing was set up. He just didn't land a death mark. Go! I think I have some decent potency on him too, or I rarely have that happen. But of course, I'm filming a video, so a death mark is not going to land. We're going to attack this 4-sided saber, even though it tears right through 4-sight. Now, Death Trooper has stagger again. Okay, we're going to go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this. Offense up. Oh my gosh. Okay, see, this is what happens. Gonna have to restart again. Some people may run it differently. With the Chewie team, I just find it easy like this, excuse me. And I want to be able to get this done before somebody solos phase 3 with their Finn team. I know he goes through 4-sight, but I like to try to keep as many of the sabers alive as possible because you have the... Oh my gosh. Well, we'll see if I can still get it this time around. Oh, again, huge mistake there, guys. Huge mistake. I had Chewie. I'm just going to restart this right now. I had the lock on Traya and Chewie attack Traya. That cannot happen. She's going to be gaining more speed with that. Do not attack Traya. This run would have been over how long ago if Death Trooper would have landed a death mark? Actually, they have all 4-sight here, which makes me happy. You don't need to have the saber survive. Oh, look it. We're going to give ability block to Death Trooper. He got rid of his ability block, which is very good. Now we're going to attack with this. Okay. Come on, offense up. Okay, perfect. I like it when you give... Here we go, boys. Here we go. Death mark landed. Stand alone. Let's go to town. Big hit. Big hit. Big hit. Please counter. Keep countering him. Keep countering him because he's going to counter back. Just look at the damage rack up. Okay, here. Let's just hit him again. Hit her again. Okay. He did quite a bit of damage there. Sometimes people want to start over and go for a different run. Am I concerned with that right now? No, not whatsoever. Like I said, we can finish the raid. Now I'm just going to do as much damage as possible with the guys that I have left. Oh, that's right. I want to keep as many sabers alive as possible for the next round. So, actually, hopefully I can get... Come on. Counter this, please. Oh, now I want to take out this saber. Dang it. Oh, perfect. Okay, this is going to end up perfectly. Because when I go in next with my bounty hunter team, I want to have all the sabers. Good deal. Let's see how much damage we ended up doing here. 2.294 million. Not bad at all. So we're going to look at how I mod my bounty hunters for phase 3. Again, listen, this run was not good at all. There's quite a few things I didn't do, and I'll explain why. With Territory Wars going on and Grand Arena going on, and with how quickly we are getting through the raids here, I didn't switch mods. Sometimes I don't even get my mod switched before some of the phases are done. So I'm going to show you how to run it, and then you're going to see my run, which again isn't very good. I want to emphasize that for all of you out there thinking, wow, this guy does not know what he's doing. But biggest thing here is you want to have that Aura Singh lead with her Zetas. This is what's important here, okay? Her leadership ability, game plan, bounty hunters and scoundrel allies have plus 30% offense while stealth at the start of battle, and whenever a bounty hunter ally defeats an enemy, all bounty hunter attacker allies gain stealth for 2 turns. When Aura Singh is in the leader slot, not the ally slot, the following contract is active. Use an ability while buffed 10 times. Only bounty hunters can contribute to the contract. You're going to start out stealth the way it is, So that's what important. When you get that reward, all bounty hunter allies gain 50% counter chance and their payouts are activated. Bounty hunter allies recover 25% and gain 20 protection and gain 25% turn meter whenever an enemy is defeated. So the bounty hunters are gonna start off stealth. This is gonna mean immediately that they're gonna be able to start going towards the contract, and you need to get the contract before you go. The sniper's expertise, this is Zated as well. This is extremely important. Somebody is talking really loud upstairs, and I don't know who it is. So sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Just kind of a quick break in the video. This is the Zeta. Dealing physical damage to target enemy. If the target is toppled, this attack deals 200% more damage, and this ability's cooldown is reset. Only raid bosses can be toppled. Okay? So you can do this against the tank, and you can do this against Phase 3 of the Heroic Sith raid. This is what you use her for, to do this. The biggest thing is, you're going to see it doesn't happen in this video, is that when you get Traya toppled the first time, you want to have your contracts. And remember to only take out the sabers with bounty hunters, not with Nest, which we're going to go over in a little bit. When you use her, you want to try to get Traya's turn meter at almost 0. Then you use standalone. Then you use her hustle. Then you use her sniper's expertise, and you can usually do it twice. For some reason, I got her with like 1 sliver of turn meter this upcoming battle, and she only attacked once, which cost me 555,000 damage, which is going to be the difference between like the 1.2 million I ran to like a 1.8 million, or even higher, because I do more damage in the long run. So how do I mod Aura? Crit chance, crit damage. You know, you could probably have some more speed, but her job is to deal that damage, guys. Speed and offensive statistics in the secondaries, please. Crit chance, offense, that's what you're looking for. Not a complicated mod. Offense in the cross, crit damage in the triangle, and speed in the arrow. So, again, her speed could probably be better, but the goal is to get this just do massive amounts of damage here. I know the damage isn't very high. I understand that I should probably get more. She could do more if I put a bunch of more Gear 12 pieces on here. But again, in this same situation, when we're using standalone, all of the offensive statistics of the other characters are going to transfer over to her. Now, I have a mod set on all my bounty hunters where I just put offensive mods on them so those transfer over. I do not have that set here. Again, with the different things going on in the game, I just didn't want to switch it over with things I have to do right now. So now we're going to look at the next character we use. I use Jango Fett. A lot of people use Dengar and they get more damage, it seems. There's a few good videos out there, but I like my Jango Fett. And I have a crit damage and crit chance set on him. His shrapnel burst does damage. His unscrupulous gunfire is able to counter, and it can do quite a bit of damage as well. And then, as you can see, I have a crit chance and crit damage set on him with a 229 speed. Again, this is the reason I have this on here, is because I put them on defense and territory war, and Grand Arena, and he does pretty darn well. And I know the team is usually run with Dengar. I understand that. I run it with Jango. Don't think it should hurt that much. You want speed and offensive statistics in the secondaries, preferably a speed set, like I said. I have offense in the primary of the cross. That's the most important thing. Crit damage in the triangle, speed in the arrow. I'll say this for a millionth time. If you have an offensive set to put on them to transfer over those stats, please do that. The next character that I use is and again, if I put all my Gear 12 pieces on all of these bounty hunters, the damage would be significantly more. Probably give them Boba a Zeta as well if I wanted. I'm not going to do that. Boba Fett is the next character. He's there to do damage. His execute is nice. It's really good when you have his bounty hunters resolve Zeta, because he can regain protection back. He does pretty good damage. And what do I have on him? I actually have the offensive set on him. So again, if you want to transfer the stats over to Aura, put an offensive set on there. Otherwise, I run him with an offensive set. You want offensive or crit damage set with speed and offensive and crit chance in the secondaries. I'm using those words a lot, but that's what you want there. Offense with plus 14 speed in the square, plus 13 speed with no offense and crit chance. These will get better as I slice them too, by the way. There is no speed in the circle right now. I put this on him because I wanted that offensive boost with some decent crit chance. Then I have, see, now this mod, this was not good. Preferably, I want an offensive mod here. And I remember I had to switch this out for the plus 10 speed and what I was using him on. Please put offense in the cross primary. Please don't listen. Don't look what I have. Crit damage, of course, in the triangle with 9 speed, unless it's an offensive mod, and then speed in the primary. So again, you know, he's not. What's his physical damage right now? 3-4-1-3. You could get that a lot higher, but this is the way I have him modded for how I'm using him right now overall in the game. And a lot of us that are in a Heroic Sith Raid guild or looking to get to the Heroic Sith Raid just want to be able to contribute to the phases to get a higher score to unlock Traya quicker or to help be able to finish it somehow. We don't want to sit around and mod every character perfectly. I like to do that at times, but not all the time. The next character is Embo. He's really squishy. He wouldn't be as squishy as if I probably get these Gear 12 pieces on him, get a Zeta where he can't be critically hit. But we're going to talk about his payout. When he gets his payout, he gets a new ability, Elusive Strikes. And deal physical damage, recover protection equal to the damage dealt. This attack ignores protection, which is pretty good. But the important thing here, and this is where I have to find this. Is it here? Not the one I'm looking for. Let's see if it's in the war helmet. Why can't I find this right now? It has to be somewhere in the payout down here, or I'm missing it. Oh, yes. Here we go. Embo takes a bonus turn after scoring a critical hit. Embo can't take consecutive bonus turns. Embo gains new special ability, Elusive Strikes. Sometimes this actually hinders me because he loses stealth and quicker. He gets taken out quicker, and it may actually prevent Aura from going just that millisecond earlier than she needs to. But I run a full crit chance set on him because in other aspects of the game, it's so nice to have him attack twice. So these are my crit chance mods, guys. When I have some decent speed, you want some offense as well. So speed, offense, crit chance in the secondaries. I have obviously in the square, 11 speed, some extra crit chance, nice. A 19 speed, that's the biggest thing and the reason I have it here in the diamond. In the circle, 10 speed with some extra crit chance and offense. Yes, I got offense in the primary of the cross with some extra speed. Now, Embo is the only character that I actually don't put a crit damage mod on in the triangle. I put a crit chance primary mod because him attacking twice is huge and it gets a lot of fun. So that's why I do that. And then plus 30 speed. So that's how I mod Embo. Again, probably want to put more of the Gear 12 pieces on him because he's really, really squishy. Really squishy. And maybe you could transfer out Dengar for him if you're going to use Django. I don't know. I don't run the team. As you can see, I don't even have my Dengar leveled up. But those are the 4 bounty hunters you use. And then now the next character, who is probably, besides Aura, the MVP of this entire team, is Nest. Because she is the best tank in the game, especially when everybody else is stealthed. I mod her for massive amounts of health. 201 speed. Some of the people put speed on her. Some of the people put tenacity on her. This is just the way I have her modded because I use her this way in Grand Arena and Territory Wars at times as well. Speed of 201, damage of 2477. She's really not here to do much damage for me. It's her fighting instinct, which I have Zeta'd, which she has a 80% counter chance and ignores taunt for her turn. Whenever Nest is damaged by an attack, she gains 30% critical chance and 40% bonus protection stacking. This bonus protection increases by an additional 40% each time. Both bonuses expire and reset at the end of her next turn. Whenever an enemy loses a buff or debuff, Nest gains 2% critical damage and health stacking until the end of the counter. So you're going to see here, she's able to eat that damage, regain the protection, and it's very hard to kill her. So when the other bounty hunters are under stealth, they only get hit when Traya uses the ability that hits all of them at once, that little lightning shock. But Nest is very, very important here. You do not want to take out any of the sabers with Nest because it will not count towards the bounty hunter's contracts, and it will also not count towards the bounty hunters getting stealth either. Use her basic to get rid of the foresight, and then really the rest is, don't use kinetic charge as much because you don't want to do an AoE. So then modding her, like I said, with health. So that is the bounty hunter team right there. Again, the score here is abysmal. But if you mod them like that, get some of the extra offensive mods on the other characters, you can do around 2 to 2.5 million damage average. And you're going to see here, especially if you're able to get another hit with Aura. So, and now we're going to run with that bounty hunter team I'm talking about. There are certain ways to mod them. I don't always, change the mods around, because I have mods on them for Grand Arena right now because I actually want them faster. So I go with an Aura lead. Get me to the rest of my bounty hunters. Boba, Embo, and now we got to bring in the fantastic Nest. Do these runs always go perfect? No. Theoretically, with these runs, I would like to get it where Aura can use her sniper's expertise twice while Traya is knocked, because her sniper's expertise does more damage when Traya is knocked, and it regenerates right away. I kind of wish he would get days there so he wouldn't counter all these times. Now he has days. Okay, now we just got to use basics. We got to get to Aura's leadership ability. That is the goal. Good deal. You do not want to kill any of the sabers with Nest. Please do not kill any of the sabers with Nest. That is crucial, because it will not count as hits towards... Let's do the basic here. It's not gonna kill it. Perfect. That should have gotten me to the buffs, which it did. Now we're gonna use this. Now we're gonna use this. Big hit, baby. 400. Oh, I didn't get 2 off though. God, the big thing with this team, guys, is to try to get 2 off. And it didn't work. I'm not actually going to restart because sometimes it takes some time, and I'm happy with that right there. But that extra, you guys can guess, that extra 500,000 damage is huge. So we knocked her again. Embo gets to go again. Now I get to use this again. 111,000. Now, if possible, I would absolutely love to get to another standalone. Nice. Sometimes what happens, especially when you use Embo and you mod him with crit chance, which I do, he goes twice in a row, and that'll take some turn meter. That'll give Traya some turn meter, which therefore that won't go to Aura. Now, I have seen people run teams that can get a lot more damage than I do with a team like this. But I'm happy with just a couple. Look at that. I'm happy with a couple million potentially if possible. Do I have them all gear 12 plus? Absolutely not. Like I said, I'd like to get to standalone twice if possible. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Oh, great. Now he's not going to counter at all. Let's get rid of you. Come on here. Get me to Django again. Oh, I was trying to get him his bounty hunter's resolve again. Okay. That's okay. 1.25 million. Not a good run at all. Again, that 500,000 would have got me to 1.7 million. Again, I know the team I didn't run perfect, but this is the team I usually run. I average about 2.1 million. That's usually what I get with this team. Sometimes the RNG and the chips just don't fall where you want them to fall. Sometimes Embo dodges, sometimes he doesn't. So that is the main teams that I use. Do I have a Phase 4 team? I use a bunch of teams in Phase 4. But I don't have my Night Sisters geared all the way up. So, again, I'm not a Phase 4 master. I have so many people in my guild that can dominate Phase 4. I love Phases 1 through 3, and usually, like I said, I'm able to do more damage. But I'm also human, and I like to be genuine. So in that sense, I want to just, keep the runs I have. Only time I would restart on each of these is to make sure I get an expose on Nihilus at the beginning of, and that's probably another thing, getting Illuminated Destiny quicker. Getting an expose on Nihilus when you start Phase 1 with JTR, and making sure you can get that death mark set on Traya before you use Raid Han in Phase 3. So, you know, there you have it. You can see how much damage we did with all the teams. What other teams could I throw in here? You know, I have a bunch of other teams right now, but I'm not, you know, they're not nearly as powerful. The Chex Mix team for Phase 1, that is the thing to use, you know? What I will do is I will do one more miscellaneous battle to show you kind of how much damage you can do with a team that isn't, you know, like specialized for that and for that phase. And I'm trying to see what I want to do here. I don't get dots landed with Wampa. Sometimes I like to run a Vader lead and get a bunch of dots. But let's actually do it this way. We're going to run a... Man, is Pulp lead good? No, let's actually just run a Vader lead. Okay, we're going to give it a shot. Thrawn, I don't need you. Nihilus, I want you. Maybe I should have Thrawn actually, but this is the team I want to run. Again, I'm just throwing together a team here that, you know, are all very powerful characters in their own right. I mean, they can win some arena matches, but this is just to show. It's really nice having the Wampa counter. This is just to show you that why specializing each team matters so much. Just do that to get it out of there. With Wampa, Wampa's not up yet. Not up yet. Jeez, I can't speak. Let's use standalone. Let's go in there, get some big hits. That was not a big hit at all. What's up with that? Give me a big hit here. Man, he's not critting or whatever right now. Unbelievable. I put Wampa in here to do massive amounts of damage with that. Yeah, give me the Furious Foe, which isn't going to matter because, of course, he has Isolate on him. But now let's just try to start taking out the... I want to get to Palpatine so I can heal, so I can heal, so I can heal. Palpatine's going to die, exactly like that. So again, I'm not saying I run this team perfect by any means either. I'm just showing you what happens when you throw in, you know, a good Sith team with a bunch of good characters. There are certain teams you have to be using to dominate these phases. And I know this team isn't ideal, guys. I got a 20,000 hit. This is probably a team that they go, don't use that in this phase. Just simply stating, like I said, again, look at how much... Wampinator is, you can use that on Phase 2 with this team on Phase 2 against Cyan as well. Okay, so there, let's see how much damage we ended up doing. Look, 227,000, and Wampa did 130,000 of it. That is so, you know, little compared to what we do with the teams that are maximized to take this out. Now, again, I don't have a Finn team here that I can use to run in this situation. I probably will try to get footage of that from somebody else because I don't want to put a Zeta on Finn. I want to save that for the new character that comes out. But there you go, guys. The first 3 phases, right there, probably the most important ones because you can throw the kitchen sink at Phase 4. And if you have Night Sisters, there's some great videos out there on Night Sisters. I personally don't have my Night Sisters geared up quite a bit, but I will go in there later when they get this done with and just throw in a bunch of teams to try to do as much damage as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the subscribe button, like the video, click the notification bell so you can be alerted to all videos that I post. Also, I'm leaving a link to my Discord server and Patreon page in the description below. Please make sure to check that out. And again, please leave comments in the comment section below because I want video ideas, I want feedback, I want to know what you guys do in these situations to get better scores. I know I made a few mistakes. I want you to tell me what you do to basically perfect it. Otherwise, peace out and may the Force be with you.